Hey everyone, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. And here we are after our fight with Torgal, who had some troubles coming to terms with his death. And I've done some tests, and indeed, usually he is not so picky when it comes to dying. Usually he just dies as any other monster. After reaching 0 HP, he just dies. He doesn't need to be finished off with fire or acid like most of the trolls, and he doesn't like fall down to the ground like them. But yeah, sometimes he is just a little troublesome. Also, I'm not going to wait out our strength drains, although Senashira's strength drain has already expired. Anyway, Nalia at the end of the fight mentioned that she needed to collect her thoughts and that she would speak more about what's next once we're outside.
My home. My father. What is left? Someone has done this. But who?
So as we've mentioned last episode, there is no definitive answer to who has set this attack up. But now she remembers about something. Now that father is gone, I have to... Oh no. Could I persuade you to... No, forget it. But if we ask about that, she's going to have an offer for us, and she's going to provide us with a lot of backstory. And also I would like to mention one thing about this gold reward here. We got 10,650 gold, but in most situations you only get the 650 without the 10,000. So basically, if you don't have Nalia with you in your party, once you defeat Torgal, and you know, she just waits at the palisade for you, and once you're out and you go there to inform her what happened, you're only going to get the 650. And since we're eligible for obtaining the fighter Stronghold here, that's basically what is ultimately going to happen after she is done telling her story, is that we're going to get offered the fighting Stronghold. So if we express our willingness to listen to her story, we of course get the full reward here. But if we refused immediately, we were just like, okay, that's not my problem, thanks, and goodbye, and she would just leave with the 650, or giving us the 650 gold. And also there's one interesting piece of like one interesting outcome that you can do here in this conversation. If you initially express the willingness to listen to her, but then refuse at the first possible opportunity, she is actually going to use her dialogue like response, I guess, the same that she would use if you would to immediately refuse to listen to her, and we're actually going to get an additional 650 in that instance. But anyway, we are going to listen to her, and of course she mentions that she is betrothed to one of the Roanols, to Isaiah Roanol. And also, when it comes to this backstory, as always, feel free to pause and read for yourself. But yeah, the Roanols, of course, are a despicable family that treat everyone else as dirt. And her father had some dealings with them. Just kind of business dealings, I guess, because they are a powerful family. And normally, if he was alive, he said that he would stall this whole marriage as long as Nalia wished to, but now that he is gone, we need to think of a different solution. Yeah, so Isaiah Ronal, a brat of a man. Now he will surely push the arrangement, now that Nalia's father is gone. Of course, there's a couple of different mocking responses. I propose a partnership, in secret of course, wherein you assume title to this place. You will become the figurehead of the keep, and I will be a ward of sorts. It is my right as heir to choose who leads this place. I couldn't stand before the Ronals effectively. You, with your talents, would prove a daunting figure. So yeah, we can become Lady Senashira here. It's not uncommon to take over a keep once the lord is dead. The heirs must merely declare it so. You will do ceremonial things, but nothing overly stressful. Alright, so we are going to accept. They can't force me out now, and Isaiah can forget the blasted betrothal. You are now master, within reason. I remain blood heir and can take it away. And now we're going to inspect our keep.
Greetings to you, Your Grace. I understand from Mistress Nalia that you are to be the new proprietor of the keep and the surrounding farmlands, yes?
That's right, dude. And he's the major domo of the castle. Nalia vouches for him, and he's just going to, you know, take care of the day-to-day operations and all the minor business, so that we're not going to be bothered by that. And he's also going to collect taxes. Although, well, there's a couple of things to mention when it comes to all this. He says that we're going to be able to get 500 gold per week from just having the stronghold, and that's true. Although, you know, now that he mentions the major decisions, we will be summoned for those. Basically, we can just visit the keep every week or so, and there should be some kind of a major issue for us to deal with. Kind of a quest, I guess, from the stronghold. And if we delay for longer, he's just going to, or if we don't visit the keep for a while, he's going to send a messenger after us, telling us that there is some bigger case for us to deal with. And also, when it comes to these missions or these quests, I guess, in the fighter stronghold, you know, they are going to, if we want to do them the good way, I guess, they are going to cost us way more than what we'll be able to get through the taxes, but at least they will cover some of the expenses. And there's nothing that requires our attention right now. And yeah, basically the big deal about this stronghold is that, of course, we are going to be ruling over some people in this land. As he mentions, there's the rich farmland aside from the keep. And depending on what we do, this is either going to increase our popularity among the people or decrease it. And if we do too many things that would decrease our popularity, the people are actually going to revolt against us, and we can lose the keep as a result. So, of course, we're not even going to get close to that kind of an outcome. I'm going to do the good, I guess, solutions to all these quests. But yeah, we can, of course, ask him about some stuff here. And this option here about the extra taxes, every time you use this, you can get a 1,000 gold kind of one-time chunk of gold, I guess. But this, every time you use this, of course, it decreases your popularity. But anyway, there's nothing for us to do right here. Of course, we can also rest in the keep anywhere for free. We can store some stuff in the different containers that are over here. Of course, we can store stuff in like any other container, but when it comes to the strongholds, it of course makes a lot more sense. And it's kind of a cool thing, you know, if you want to just put away some things. There's that chest in the front that's pretty good for that purpose, or maybe, you know, on the second floor in some rooms you would like to store some stuff. Also, once we get the mage stronghold, there's a cool storage area that you can use for that kind of purpose as well. And yeah, Lady Delcia, of course, is certainly not going to stay here. So even though we have saved the keep, we have saved her life. She says, I would sooner see an acceptably noble Roanoke rule here than this impostor. Do not think you truly rule here, Senashira. Proper noble hands will return. I consider my home to be no better off than when it was occupied by the trolls. Alright, so she leaves, and we're going to be able to inspect the keep a little bit. Right now, you know, there's no one to see us. And there's basically nothing else that we can... Oh yeah, we can ask him how things fare, and this is going to be something that we can deduce what the mood of the people, I guess, is. And now, of course, since this is the very beginning, you know, people are going to be busy rebuilding and establishing things as they were before, from before the attack. They just need to recover from the invasion. And yeah, we're going to have a couple of servants and that we can talk to. Here we have our butler. That's looking forward to a long and fruitful service. We also have a cook named Alma.
Yes, this will not take long. How are you? What is it?
Yeah, I work hard for you, yes? Well, I would hope so. And upstairs,
Speak. If
in
it
this
must
chamber
be
here,
done.
there's going to be our maid, Talira. And here, the gold from the taxes is going to be stored for us.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just
It will
teleport
be
back.
What is it?
And here, I don't think we're going to rest or anything like that. We're going to go back straight to Athkatla. And the Major Domo also mentioned that some funeral arrangements
Direct me as you will.
are in the process of being made, I guess, for Lord Dearnese. And I think we're going to get to that very soon. And also, almost forgot about Captain Cernic, who is now the captain of our guard, or the commander of the garrison, I guess, because Captain Arat retired.
Yes.
So we have already seen Captain Cernic in action a little bit earlier. But yeah, now it's the time to go back to Athkatla, and we're going to check Joaquin's Promenade first, since now, of course, our Elysium
Certainly.
substitute is going to be ready.
What is it? Without doubt.
We have to get back to our Athkatlan business here.
Greetings, good customer. A pearl to you.
But she mentions that there's a problem. We had a deal. That she was approached by other churches as well. But of course we have priority. We were the first. But she is going to increase the price from 200 to 500, which of course doesn't really matter. Alright, so now we have that Elysium substitute, and we also have to give this regen ring to Senashira. Yeah, that's the Elysium alloy. We can rearrange our stuff now that the strength drain is not there anymore. And now I think I am going to immediately do the funeral with Nalia. Basically that would happen after about a week of Nalia traveling with us, but I don't want to keep Nalia for too much longer. I just want to do her quests and then replace her with someone else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn the messenger that informs us about the funeral,
Yes.
and we're going to be able to do it right now.
Hello there.
So he approaches Nalia with a message. And yeah, I guess she receives a letter, I guess opens the message, and informs us that we have to go to the graveyard district in Athkatla. Yeah, it's about her father's funeral.
What is it?
Hello there. Hello there.
Alright, so there it is, upstairs here. Also, now Viconia is around here, available for us to recruit, and I just wanted to mention her now that we're in the graveyard district, because through that, through a banter that Viconia has with Nalia, you can see the difference of opinion when it comes to some political stuff, I guess. That Nalia is, like I've said at the beginning, she's basically kind of like a communist, and Viconia is very much against that that kind of attitude. And they have a cool banter that I think unless you have Viconia and Nalia, you know, together in your party, you're not really going to see that kind of discussion, and that's pretty cool.
Speak.
And I think this is not a situation that you would have often, because Nalia is good aligned and Viconia is evil aligned, and you would usually probably not mix party members from these alignments together.
This will not take long.
Well, yeah, of course, here we are to celebrate the life of Lord Dearnese, cherish the memory of him, I guess, and mingle with all of the other people that have attended the funeral. Yeah, all grievances should be put aside. Yeah, wander and speak with the others, and talk of how you felt about him. Yeah, your father would prefer the honest talking of friends over pre-written speeches.
How can I
We can take Nalia and talk with all of these guests. And here,
I cannot abide this charity. It is not to my tastes at all.
okay, Edwin, so of course he complains about us having good reputation, but he's not going to leave due to that Happy Patch component from BG2 Tweaks that I have installed just for that occasion. It's basically for us to be able to keep Edwin without any artificial manipulation of our reputation. Anyway, here is someone that we know from Baldur's Gate 1, Hurgen Stoneblade. If you remember, from Ulgoth's Beard, he was the one, of course, that told us about the dagger Soul Taker that we were to retrieve for him from Durlag's tower. So apparently he knew Nalia's father as well. Banshee, is that you? Who would know my nickname? Little Nalia. Oh, you are a sight for my eyes, I tell you. I am sorry for what has happened. Yeah, you scared the nobles something fierce. That I do, and rightfully so. Someone has to liberate the people beneath the yoke of the nobles. Soon comes the time to strike. Banshee. Yeah, look at him squirm around the room. Yeah, there's basically going to be some small talk with most of these people attending. But near the end, we can see that there's also Isaiah Roanel here with his father. But we're going to get to that in a second. Here's Lord Milsire Dunderberg. He's also a likable fellow, and explains, I guess, why there are not that many people at the funeral. Apparently most of the nobles are busy with their businesses at this crucial time, I guess. My pleasure, my dear, though the honor to say such is mine. I hope I can aspire to gauge my integrity by comparison to your father's. A pretty likable, cool fellow.
Stand where you're at.
He's Lady Tandolan. Oh, Lord Diarnese did fraternize with some colorful company, I must say. And now this is going to be something a little disturbing. Oh, Nalia, I have heard how you have been in dreadful straits since your father's death. I can only imagine the horrors you have endured. I'm not sure what you mean. But, my dear, the wandering like a gypsy, the company you have had to keep, Isaiah has painted quite the unsavory picture. Oh, he has he? He talks far too much for my comfort. Oh, yeah, so we have some words. We need to have some words with Isaiah Roanel.
They're built on the backs of the unfortunate.
Because it seems that he's been talking a little bit too much for his own good.
Nalia, my dear, I have been worried sick about you.
Oh no, it's Isaiah. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, it's been so long since I have seen your face. So regal and a bit dirty, actually. Have you been slumming again? Naughty. Kindly place a cork in it. I do not slum. I help people. Of course, one must have one's little hobbies. But it is just about time you honored our agreement. The honor of your house is at stake, you recall. My home has a new head that owes you no allegiance. Do such agreements carry beyond the death of the makers? No. A master of weapons may assume title to. You know as well as I do that that arrangement is a fabrication. My word, you have brought them here. Or, my word, you have brought them here? This orc is ruling your house? Ridiculous. No, Isaiah, I will not marry you. Above all else, I do not find your company enjoyable. You may be entitled to ruin your own reputation, but I will not have you dragging me down as well by denying what is mine by rights. I will not stand for it. So here, usually we're going to have like 3 types of reactions. One is to like de-escalate, I guess, and try to like calm everyone down. One is being kind of like reasonable, I guess, but still standing behind Nalia, and one is very aggressive. I think I'm going to go with this one in this this time. It can speak. Nalia trained you well. So yeah, his father intervenes here a little bit. Stop this Lord Roanel business. I'll not have such formalities. Farthington is my name among friends. Farthy, if out of sight of the missus. Anyway, he seems to be pretty likable, but at the end of our Fighter Stronghold questline, he's going to show his true face. You are a positive cad. Is it true your home has been overrun by barbarians? My guards will have you home and safe in no time. There are none finer. Yeah, but of course he's misinformed. Yeah, with my father's death, it was best to defer to the weapons master that saved the keep. You know the old customs, don't you? Of course, a fine tradition. I know many a name that was started in that way. Thank you, father, but it's not that simple. And so, of course, Isaiah has been at work to paint that kind of a different picture, that Nalia apparently needed to be saved, or that she has been acting very unreasonably since her father's death. Nalia, descend further into these whims of yours, and you shall be a laughingstock. Come now, our combined names would carry quite the weight. Yes, of course she refuses. Do not anger me, Nalia. I can help or hinder. I've done it before. Yeah, obviously she does not know what her wishes should be. Just look at her choice of company. This is unfinished. So he leaves now. We can talk with his father a little bit. Yeah, he was a fine man despite his eccentricities. Or eccentricities, I should say. And now once Isaiah leaves, Nalia is going to have a little comment.
I'm sorry for that extended exchange, but he is such a bounder, such a manipulating, such a... Oh, to Hades with the manners. He is a complete bastard, and calling him that insults bastards everywhere.
So, yeah, let's ask about that. And were he not the son of Lord Ronal, I would think him capable of anything short of the criminal. But yeah, this is basically the official ending. Once she has that kind of a comment, once we've talked with everyone, now we can leave. And then now, basically, in a day's time, something is going to happen. And I could speed it up, but maybe we're just going to like rest a little bit and let things play out as they're supposed to. This is also an appropriate time of day, I guess, for these two nobles, Maggie and Arthur, to be here. And they're going to... I've mentioned that before. But they're basically grieving their butler, Jeeves.
No time to chit-chat.
He was a most excellent butler. They're all named Jeeves. Our Jeeves was a much finer butler than their Jeeves. This is pretty funny. Your heart shouldn't have to put up with such poor service. Try not to think about it. The new Jeeves is waiting with lunch.
Speak.
Yeah, I love the different noble conversations in the Baldur's Gate games.
It is not to my tastes at all.
Anyway, now I think is the time to conclude our business with Sir Sarles. Also, I'm not sure if I've showcased this one, but now that we have, of course, way earlier, we have returned Little Man to the spirit of Wellin, his teddy bear. Of course, we returned to him. Now his parents are going to be at peace. They can sense that the spirit of their child is at peace now, and of course they're very happy about it. Yeah, apparently he appeared to them to say goodbye and told them about how we rescued his bear. so we can get a little bit more experience, and apparently that was just enough for Kirinai to level up. So let's check that out. She's going to be level 14, and it's not a very impressive level up, I guess. But she's getting closer to having some respectable stealth skills. Anyway, now what we have to do is go to the government district. Okay, another ambush. Let's just let them leave. I guess I'm not going to bother with these anymore. But anyway, in the government district, we can go to the Gistev estate to speak to Sir Sarles. And of course, since we have the real Elysium and the fake one, if you do not drop the real Elysium on the ground, this is actually going to be the default. So I'm just going to quick save here.
Oh, do go away.
And yeah, I did not expect to see you back here so soon. Perhaps next time I should request to work only on blood-forged meteoric adamantite. But anyway, he's going to recognize the true Elysium, so that's kind of the default choice of what you give him. Yeah, he's going to be really excited. And of course, this concludes our deal, I guess, in a positive manner.
Our business is concluded. The piece will be delivered when it is done.
Yeah, so now that if we go back to the Helm's Temple, you know, everyone is going to be happy. Or Guardian Telwyn, that gave us that mission, is going to be happy, and, you know, no additional things are going to happen, just, you know, a mission well done. But I'm going to quick load here, and I'm going to drop the real Elysium onto the ground, so that we don't have it in our possession. And don't mind it, Sir Sarles, that it's just lying here on the ground, right in front of you.
Oh, do go away.
Alright, so here's your Elysium. It is a fine specimen, isn't it? Smelted to remove impurities, I see. It is smooth, yes, almost translucent as well. Such a magnificent material. Done and done, I will shape this for your church. They will be pleased with the result, I am sure. Now out with you. I will polish away the grime of your hands and see what is inside waiting for me. Wait. Wait just one moment. I must polish this?
This is not Elysium. You have cheated my art.
Elysium holds no oil or grime. A handprint of an Elysium is an impossibility. So yeah, he does actually recognize the differences between this alloy and true Elysium. No matter what we say here, he's going to be so offended, so insulted, that he's just going to leave the town and not work for anyone, for any of the churches. Yeah, the most important element of Elysium is that it will bear no dirt or grime. Yeah, a master of the forge told me there would be no difference, perhaps in strength or feel, but what does a fumbling forge monkey know about the beauty of the ever-smudgeless surface of true Elysium? This is garbage. I will not work for you or any other. This city has insulted my work. I will leave at once. Coachman, my bags, my muse. But this is actually going to work out well for us anyway. And we have the real Elysium for ourselves. And we're going to give that alloy to Guardian Telwyn now. I'm going to go back to the Temple District and finish this quest.
Without doubt. Put it quickly and precisely.
Duty is the greatest honor, and duty to Helm is above all.
Yeah, and there is nothing left to it. What's done is done. We will commission work from a local artist as soon as we can using this alloy. A pity, but it... And now High Watcher Oisig actually chimes in. What is this, Guardian? I had heard you were commissioning and you work for this temple. Is this it? It was to be, High Watcher, but no longer. And why not? It resembles the works of Prism, though of course it cannot be. It has an odd look to it, like the time between the dark and the dawn. I find it pleasing. It carries the sheen of Elysium, but it is smudged? Good. Helm's armor is unblemished, but the acolytes should not think it easy to attain without tireless work. Place it someplace prominent, Guardian. It will serve. I had worried you might expend our coffers on that overrated Sir Sarles, but this pleases me. Fine work. As you would have it, High Watcher. Helm guided us through the mire of pretentious artists and nobles and granted us a humble tribute that is still worthy. You have gained his blessing. The ever-seeing eye of Helm should have seen our treachery here. But anyway, as you can see, everything worked out fine, although you do get less experience for that. I think you get like 22,000 or something like that if you do manage to get the services of Sir Sarles, and you get 1,000 gold for it. Yeah, he mentions that we have earned a portion of the artist's commission to cover any cost you paid, but in this outcome he actually does not give us the 1,000 gold. But as always, we will get the Helm of Glory. Yeah, Helm is practical and would have his payment be so as well. You shall have the Helm of Glory to further yourself. And he has another mission for us, and wants us to report to him. Anyway, Helm of Glory, we know that one from Baldur's Gate 1 as well. +1 armor class and charisma. We can actually give that to Anomen, I think. We don't really need these Helms of Charm protection that much. We might hold on to them for certain occasions, but generally at this point in the game we are going to have like some chaotic commands active or some other spells that will protect us against such effects if we are approaching fights that would require us to be protected from them. But anyway, I think we're going to explore this next mission, and perhaps I will speed up the Nalia thing. We'll see about that, but anyway, we're going to proceed with further adventures in the next episode, and this is going to be it for this one. So I well, stumbling over my words. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.